Today on the Dale Wiley Show, I've got something a little different. In my continuing effort to help people understand new topics that they don't know, I started a 5 minutes to prepare 5 minutes on the air with my friend Neiko about wine. The problem is there's no way to get Neiko to stop after 5 minutes. She is intelligent and she is passionate, and she gave a real good primer on wine and how to learn about it and how not to look stupid and how to drink it without breaking your budget.
So we're here this afternoon with a friend of mine, Neiko Miller Kird. I know her as Neiko, and she is on the, tell me the exact terminology, Neiko.
Well, I'm on the beverage team at Reed's American Table. I'm one of the junior somms under Andrei Ivanov, who is one of the leading advanced somms here in St. Louis. I joined the team to kind of further my progression within learning about wine, and you have to surround yourself with the best to get better, right? So,
okay, and Reed's American Table is a new restaurant in St. Louis, and it's certainly gotten high praise from all corners. And so here's our thing. You're meeting somebody and they don't know much about wine at all, but they want to go to a party and they want to say something that will make them sound like they're not totally illiterate about wine. So what do they need to say to make them sound smart?
Depending on the situation. Now, one of the things that, it's a fall safe go-to is champagne goes with everything. And it's true. You can pair it with just about every course and it's going to work, especially if you're doing it with food, because it is a high acid type of wine. And it's great with food because of that. Now, in a dining situation, if, someone goes out to dinner and, they want to explore different wines and they don't feel 100% comfortable, that's okay. This new wave of wine professionals and just industry professionals, it's great what they're doing because they're trying to take the intimidation factor out of it. And if you ask me, that's their number one job because it's all about the consumer. So there are some pointed questions that I would recommend someone going to the table with. First of all, saying, I'm not very familiar, but I want to learn. Now, the palate is something that is ever evolving, be it for food, drink, what have you. So, I didn't start out drinking Blockbuster cabs. My palate wasn't prepared for that. So it's kind of a baby steps program for it.
I think Blockbuster video, does that make a difference? Did I say that?
I think that's a fossil now. I don't see those anymore. But
I'm out of time again.
What's that?
I'm out of time again. Dang it.
Oh, it's okay. I can do this all day long.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is, so you got somebody, and let's say they get the snob, and they're talking about how it tastes like gravel and some dirt and asphalt or whatever they say that they think makes them sound really special. And what do you say to stay in the conversation?
Well, with that, there are those nuances in the wines. And, people pick up different things in wines than other people. Like women, for instance, we taste better than men. Because I don't know why. I don't know what it is about our chemical makeup that, certain things jump out to us more so than men. But there's really no wrong answer except for there are certain types of fruits that go with certain types of wines. So for white wines, you're looking at citrus fruits. Lemon is always something that you can say, and it's usually going to be in a white wine. There's also, there's usually orchard fruits, especially like things like Chardonnay. And when I say orchard fruit, I mean things that are grown on a tree, like apples, pears, things like that. That you're going to see in that. There's also like tropical fruits and things like that. And we don't need to go full detail on that, but those indicators, some of those fruits, especially tropical fruits, are going to tell you, those are going to be, kind of hallmarks for certain wines. Like New World wines are going to have more tropical fruit. Old World wines are going to have more orchard fruit. Now, Old World and New World. Old World is basically everything in Europe. New World is basically everything that's not. And then when you get into red wines, you're going to get dark black fruits, plums, purple fruits, something called bramble fruits like raspberries and blackberries. So all of these fruit characteristics, they color-wise, they align with whites and reds, respectively. And then you get into other things like oak, and, we could really kind of delve into this further than we have 5 minutes for, but something that we could discuss further on down the line. But when it comes to those fruits, just kind of know that there are, type A, type B for each one, kind of a thing.
Okay. Now, let's say that somebody wants to kind of set up their bachelor pad or their new home or something like that. Give me 3 or 4 bottles of wine that maybe don't cost a fortune, but would kind of run the gamut and provide something to do.
Well, I like doing varietal comparisons from, like cabs from Bordeaux are going to have certain characteristics to it, and then cabs from California are going to be juicier. You're going to have warmer climates, so it's going to end up, pulling out more of those bigger fruits. So I think a good Cab Merlot blend is nice to have, and that's going to be kind of like a main course, big protein kind of. I really like out of California, anything Napa is going to have a really big juice fruit factor going on. It's just a matter of what you're in the mood to spending. Now, there are a couple different places here in St. Louis that you can go, and they will customize that for you. I really love the people at the Wine Merchant because they have, $12 bottles on up. It's just a matter of your taste.
Give me a good $20 bottle of wine that you've seen. Give me a white and a red $20 bottle of wine that just knocks your socks off.
Okay, I love Sauvignon Blanc, but I like French Sauvignon Blanc. It's called Sancerre. Those two words are synonymous with one another. There's a Lucien Crochet that is 100% Sauvignon Blanc. It's grapefruit. It's crisp. It's clean. It's one of those things that we call a patio pounder, and that's going to be in your $15 to $20 range.
Okay.
Well, let's stick with whites, because if people are moving into the wine, there is in northern Italy, it's called Alto Adige. They make really, really good Pinot Grigios and things like that. I used to work at Robust, and we had a Rapido Pinot Grigio, and it was crisp and clean and things like that. There's a really cool wine that's in that $15 to $20 range called Kahina, Kahina. And it's a Grenache and Syrah blend, but it's made in Morocco. And that particular wine producer, his name's Bernard Magrez, he really pushes the envelope, and he buys vineyard land in areas that don't typically grow grapes, and he does a magic trick and makes it happen. Another really good tip, Portugal. Portugal is having this amazing renaissance right now. Portugal has always been known for ports or fortified wines, which are sweeter, sometimes, definitely higher alcohol. But these vineyards are overgrown with these port grape varieties. And so it's kind of hard for them to say there's 75% of this grape, blah, blah, blah. So they're doing field blends, and rather than fortifying them, they're just doing them as still wines. And their prices are amazing. I'm talking you can get a really good daily drinker for $7 to $15. And there are two main regions, Douro, which is named after the river. It's spelled Douro. And if you think about it, it kind of rhymes, Douro and Bordeaux. So the reds from that area are very similar to Bordeaux-style, bigger, juicier reds. They don't have nearly as much oak at times. Sometimes they do. But it's a really great value. And then the same thing, there's another area within Portugal called the Dao, D-A-O, and they're more Burgundian. When I say Burgundian, like Pinot Noir, Pinot Grigio, Chardonnays that aren't oaked a whole lot. And so you're getting these really great, everyday drinkers because, I may or may not have an everyday bottle. I'm not sure. I don't want to divulge that. But, you don't want to spend $20 a day on a bottle. Maybe you do. I personally don't. And you don't have to spend an arm and a leg to have a really great bottle of wine.
Well, and that just seems to be, I mean, there does seem to be the emphasis on just how many more, varieties there are and just how many more people in the business than there used to be. And all I really care about is, does it make me look better to the ladies? If it does that, then it's done its job.
Well, I mean, there are a few books out there that I think are really great that make you just a better consumer, a more knowledgeable consumer. There's a book called Windows of the World by Kevin Zraly, Z-R-A-L-Y, anyway, he had a wine school on the top of the World Trade Center. Sadly, they lost a lot of people that day. But his book is it's written in a very easily, it's easy to read. It has really great producers from each region, great vintages. It's kind of a go-to. And that was actually the first book that I read cover to cover when I started this journey.
Okay. And any other resources that you like?
Well, I mean, everyone says the Wine Bible. I use that mostly as a reference guide. I bought that book before Kevin Zraly, and I was like, I'm not ready for this. It literally has everything in there.
My wine Bible is used as a paperweight.
Yeah, it's very much a paperweight. It's huge. If you're wanting to learn how to taste, Jancis Robinson, she has a book called How to Taste. And, if you want to have just like a little fun little wine tasting party with your girlfriends or, whatever, group of friends, couples, it has like little exercises, and it'll tell you, get wines from this region and that region, put them in a glass side by side, and you'll be able to see the difference because, it's one of those things that it's a trial and error situation where you try this one, see how you like it, and you compare it. And what don't you have to ask yourself these questions? What do I love about it? What do I hate about it? Where do I go from here?
If my date wants Moscato with a lot of ice cubes and a straw, what should I do?
Get it for her. I mean, there are certain quote unquote faux pas, but ultimately she's paying for that, or you're paying for it, I would hope. If that's what you like. Yeah. If that's what you like, then that's what you like. Now, I will say this. There are some tricks out there because the whole thing about putting ice in wine is that it's going to dilute the wine. But I found a little trick that I do for my mom and for other people. Get white grapes, like the green grapes, and get red grapes and freeze them. Wash them, of course, first. But if someone wants to have a more chilled down wine, throw those frozen grapes in there because it's not going to dilute the wine.
That's great, Neiko. We'll have you back on sometime soon. We'll talk more about this. It's just great to hear all the wonderful information you've got for us. So thanks a lot.
Well, thanks for having me. I look forward to this. This is fun.
I hope you enjoyed the Dale Wiley Show today. Visit www.dalewiley.show.net. Buy some books, throw some money, and have a good weekend. Copyright 2016.